What's going on, guys? It's Deathmonk here. Today I'm going to be talking about some rather interesting images and leaks that were got regarding the remainder of Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 8 going into Chapter 3 Season 1. Now, I've got all sorts of interesting images to discuss here with you guys, some of which I have covered already, some of which I haven't. Basically, I'm pretty sure most people know if you have a look at the Q Queen in game right now, as of the most recent patch update, you will notice that the sounds that the Q Queen makes while at the pyramid, POI, it actually creates a spectrogram showing a pyramid being struck by, from what we can see, lightning. So that's really interesting there, guys. So obviously that is a hint to what potentially could happen during the live event. At this present moment in time, we know the date to be November the 5th. However, we don't have any confirmed time on exactly when that's going to be going down. We do have an understanding of the... I mentioned about a countdown clock that's going to be appearing in the lobby. From what we understand, I think that information is saying to us that that will happen on November the 28th to December the 3rd time frame, from what we understand. So that's when we can expect that clock to appear in game. Just to came back going on the lightning thing that we discussed with that image. As you guys can see, there was actually a bit of in-game coding saying mlarge lightning bolt mesh gold inst.u asset, which I covered in my previous episode. There was also a image. I don't think I've. Oh, yes, I did. There's also going to be in Chapter 3 a sliding mechanic coming from this leaked loading screen, showing the current, I think it's a new FNCS skin alongside two other skins either side of him. And as you guys can see, he's actually firing a pistol while sliding across the ground. So that's interesting there. So we can potentially see sliding as a new form of getting from A to B quickly. So that's going to be good. What else have we got here? I mentioned about the loading screen, so I'm not going to go into that. There is also an in-game image, or leaked image, of a weakened cube. And this seems to be dissolving in a similar fashion to that of the 0 point during Season X, back in Chapter 1. So we can assume that possibly, from what we understand, maybe it's the golden cube that's going to be doing this at some point before the live event on December the 5th. This information came from, for those who are interested, on Mango, who is a credible Fortnite leaker, saying a new stack measure has been added for a weakened cube state. We might see the golden cube destabilize over time as we get closer towards the event. It is in the in-game files, but it hasn't been fully confirmed by Epic Games or Fortnite yet, so that's going to be interesting. Also, from what we understand, there's also going to be props from the Imposters mode. And the event, which is codenamed Guava, will be using data from the Imposters game mode, or Mole, along with Caretaker data. So we can assume there's going to be, we're going to have Caretaker monsters involved during the event. Also, we understand the Foundation will be either speaking or making an appearance during the live event. So that's going to be interesting. Shout out to G-Matrix Games for that information. I think there's also Foundation will be appearing at some time in the item shop, potentially before the live event. I think the old style version of Jonesy will also be making an appearance. We don't have any details and times on when that's going to happen, but we can assume that'll potentially be before the event. I'm pretty sure most people are aware of the current collaboration with Naruto, and at some point we'll also be getting a banner icon appearing at some point, possibly in the item shop, possibly elsewhere, or potentially have to earn it through a challenge, but we'll have to wait and see what's going on there. We also have information about the last... I think, if memory serves, there was a hotfix, courtesy of Hypex, where when one player gets eliminated during the live event, it will say in the kill feed, player was knocked out by the last reality, or the last reality finally eliminated player. Player being obviously your game attack. So that's interesting. I did mention this, I think, in my last episode about the black hole And there's also going to be some in-game coding which reads night night front-end text, game update available. An update is available. Please close the game if you're ready to install the latest update. So that's interesting there, courtesy of Happy Power. I think we'd have a recap of all the things that's going to be you can expect to see during the downtime. Don't forget, guys, there will be a 48-hour or so downtime going between the 5th of December all the way up to Tuesday the 7th of December, from what we understand. So that's going to be interesting to see there. I think we also have, I'm not going to go too much into the spoiler in a moment, but I'll come back to that in a minute. Spider-Man in Chapter 3, I think, has been... we do have an understanding of Spider-Man potentially coming into Fortnite. However, this is going to be going down in Chapter 3. So that's going to be exciting to look forward to. I'm really excited to see a Spider-Man collaboration. I mentioned earlier about the countdown clock that's going to be appearing just before the Fortnite live event begins. I think we have a leaked image. I can't remember who this came from on Twitter, but as you guys can see, we see like a yellow type glow with a flare coming from the sky. As you guys can see, this appears to be going down. It's pretty close by to the current fortress that's currently being built just south of Pleasant Park, from what we understand. So that's interesting there. Is there anything else I need to discuss here, guys? Apparently, from what we understand, I think it's currently in the in-game files. However, Epic Games struck Fortnite have not mentioned anything about it, but apparently we're going to get some sort of throwing knife, potentially in Chapter 3, so that's interesting. A lot of the hex codes for this mesh are various shades. Now this is referring to the cube. I think it's referring to the cubes. As you guys can see, a lot of the hex codes for this mesh are various shades of crimson red. Potentially, as the cube starts to destabilize, it will become red hot as well. So during the destabilization, it could potentially get hotter and hotter. So that's interesting there. Apparently, we've got some upcoming information concerning the collaborations that's going to be coming to Fortnite. Spider-Man, as aforementioned, will be in Chapter 3. Fashion collaboration, I think, is currently ongoing as of today. This was posted yesterday, so fashion collaboration tomorrow is actually today. There's going to be a Matrix Resurrection, from what we understand, in the second half of December. So that's going to be interesting to see what's going on with that. Morbius is coming in January. I think we've also got a few other collaborations, one involving Star Wars, and I think there was one other off the top of my head. So that's really interesting to look forward to. I'm just going to quickly onto the internet here, guys, because I think we've got a few other things I want to talk about. There will be some sort of Jordan collaboration, obviously referring to Michael Jordan, the basketball player. It's related to creative and involves some kind of basketball mechanic. It has lots of creative props that are currently encrypted. However, we do not think this is tomorrow's collab, so that's really interesting there. I've also got information about, I've mentioned just a few moments ago about the Matrix collaboration. It looks like Neo and Trinity is planned for the second half of December. That's coming from Hypex, another credible Fortnite leaker. Shout out to him. I mentioned about the pyramid earlier in this episode. On Tuesday, a new Cube Queen Ambient audio, as aforementioned, was added for Gold Cube and Queen. When played through a spectrogram, it provides us with an image of the pyramid and cube with lightning. The image reminded me of the Foundation's cape, and is practically the same when flipped. So if you were to flip that image from Foundation's cape upside down, you can see it actually closely resembles a cube. So that's interesting there, a cube inside the pyramids. So that's cool. Kumar has actually rendered out a 30-second video tour of Guava Fort. Guava, obviously, as aforementioned, the code name for the live event. I just want to see if he's actually posted that. I believe he has. So I'm just going to see if I can find it here for you guys. There we are. Right, so that's interesting. So as you guys saw just now, you see like all sorts of very interesting bits and pieces. Something potentially very interesting that Kumar noticed: Tina's desk and bombs, Brutus's punching bag, and Sky's books and games. Back from, I think it was like Chapter 2, Season 5 or something like that, where we had to battle off Tina, Brutus and Sky when they all had their bases scattered around the map. So that's interesting there. If you want to watch this for yourselves, guys, I will post the video of that down in the description. Now, I mentioned earlier that, I mentioned at one point where the corruption of the cubes is going to expand, so the whole entire map is going to turn corrupted. Now, we've actually got a frame-by-frame courtesy of Zathio and Impekwe on Twitter, who's actually posted a video of how we can see the progression of the corruption by the cubes and the Cube Queen herself. So that's really interesting there as well. Apparently, according to the FN Cube Watch on Twitter, Chapter 3 questions. Will the map possibly be bigger than Chapter 2? Possibly. At the moment, I don't know, but some leakers do. If it is, we'll be seeing bigger lobbies. I think the leak at the moment is expecting to see maybe 125 to 150 players, which is going to be roughly about the same amount as the amount of players in Warzone. What vehicles will be supported and introduced? Almost all vehicles will be supported, but new vehicles are expected, and a lot of the current vehicles will be disabled. Is this the last chapter of the 0 Point story? No. Will Chapter 3 introduce the rest of the 7? Yes. More than 7 will be introduced every chapter. So as of right now, we currently know, figure this out here, I think we know 4 of the current 7 at this present moment in time, Foundation being the most recent. The other 3, I think, came from Chapter 1. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what's going to be going down. So that's interesting to note. And I did cover a recent map concept that was given to us by Ed Meyer, who actually given us a rather interesting leaked image of what we can expect the Fortnite map to look like in Chapter 3. So that's going to be really interesting there. I just want to cover a couple more things here. Now, what I'm about to mention about is our spoilers. So if you're not interested in any spoilers, guys, click away from this video now. If you are ending this video here, I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So without further ado, guys, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, click away in 3, 2, 1. Here we go, guys. So the first Chapter 2 Season 8 spoiler, from what we understand, is, as you guys can see, we've got different bits of in-game coding. Guava, of course, being the code name for the live event. If you want to read this for yourselves, guys, I'm not going to go into too much detail of this. Probably we're going to be servicing the water in Breach, applied to players before they're teleported using a catch-up mechanic. So that means, where it says about the catch-up mechanic, that's going to be allow players who, let's say, are AFK or have no interest in actually taking part of the event, teleporting to where all the rest of the players on the action is going down. Effects that show that every time Sideways Spotter spawns new creatures, so that's interesting there. Apparently we're going to get an icy feat at some point, maybe during the event, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what's going down there. So that's the first set of leaked spoilers there for the event. The other one is pretty much storyline based. So if you're not interested in that, click away from this video. Now, just a little brief warning for you guys. And here it is. So, Season 8 event spoilers coming from PF Vexiful on Twitter. He says, the live event will be interactive, similar to the Galactus event. The Cube Queen will start an attack, and a lot of caretakers will start spawning. Those are those big giant bosses that we see in every match during a game of Fortnite. You will have to survive 4 waves of caretakers with a pistol and an assault rifle. Yeah. That's going to be quite a bit of a challenge, if I'm honest with you. How we go about taking them down is a mystery to us, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what's going to be going down, guys. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Please do let me know in the comments box down below. Hope everyone's excited for the Fortnite live event. If you are, smash the thumbs up button, guys. If you're new to the channel, please smash the subscribe button. Don't forget the notification bell so never see more videos. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace out.
A few moments later.
Just a quick update here for you guys. I just realised I forgot to mention this during my original recording. Donald Mustard has actually given us a rather interesting video to watch from his Twitter and Instagram that he's recently posted. And it's actually mention of a couple of Fortnite content creators, Tabor Hill and Cypher PK, have actually mentioned something called "See You on the Flip Side" during the end of some of their videos. Now, there's actually, I'm just going to quickly show you this rather interesting video that Donald put on his Twitter. Now, as you guys saw, Donald Mustard appears to be in some sort of shop with like a lot of mirrored floors and mirrored ceilings, and it appears to be some sort of, I think the buildings come with some sort of either balloons or something similar. It actually mentions "see" on the flip side. So if we were to like look down into the Fortnite map, that could potentially be the flip. On the other side of the world would be the flip side, or if you were to look in the sky and you were, I guess you could say that you were looking down on it, that again would be like on the flip side of the edge of the earth, so to speak. So that's really interesting. And it's actually rumours to suggest that Cypher PK and Tabor Hill actually mentioned also something called "Winter is Coming." Now, when I first heard about "Winter is Coming," that could possibly suggest the return of potentially Crackshot's house, where we can get to open one present on every single day. It could be related to that, or it could potentially be related to possibly a snow biome for the Christmas part of the season. Don't forget, this next season will be starting on December the 5th, which is during the Christmas period. So, I want to know what your thoughts are. Please let me know in the comments box down below. Hope you guys are all excited for the live event again. Smash the thumbs up button, guys. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace out.